Okay, so this is more of a complex version of PRINTCUT. So, to give you a quick look, like this is how much is going on in the background of these two. So this one's the easier one, so we'll start with this. It's going to go into a white vehicle, so it having a white border around it is fine. So we're probably going to make it slightly larger. It's already scaled to what we need, just 20 by 25, and I'm going to try to make everything fit on this 4x8 print. So I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to paste. I just copied this whole thing. Actually, first thing we always do is group. So you grab everything and hit Control G to make sure that everything is grouped that you want to be grouped. So Control G, so that's grouped, they're grouped independently. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, and then Control F, so it pastes right on top. And you can put them on different layers. So over here, see how I moved it into the top layer? So this will make it so that we're only dealing with the area that's going to be a print cut. I have my cut contours already in here, but if you don't have access to the cut contour, you can always open up the template for when we're proofing, and I always have it in there, so you can always get to a swatch. So say we didn't have it. Sorry, let me get back to that one. Okay, so then you can unlock, and we can just steal this. So I just copied it, and I'll paste it in here. So there it is. So it'll automatically be added to our swatches. So it's now in here. See? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this whole thing, make it pink, and then merge it all together. And then you see how there's like this stuff right in here. I'm gonna lock the bottom layer so that I can toggle this on and off and we can see it. So I'm hitting Shift X because that flips the stroke and the fill from one another, so you can just keep flipping back and forth. So I flip it sometimes just to see what's going on. I kind of feel like this should have a white line around it, and this looks goofy. So what I would do with that, just flip it back. So we're going to drag from the fill to the stroke, increase the stroke so that it's a little bit outside of it. And sometimes I'll just scroll. It's also important to go into your strokes, which if it's not open in here, you can find all of these in here. So always round them, because you see right in here where this is squared off. If you click these, they'll round it, and that's what we want, is for it to always be rounded. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, because right now if we send it, it's still going to cut on this line. It's going to cut on this line, not the new line we have. So we need to outline, object path, outline stroke. That's better, but we need to, it'll cut on all three of these lines. So now we need to merge them together, unify them, which would go into Pathfinder tool. Again, if it's not open, go in here and open it up. And then just hit this one, which is unify.
I think I got the printer in town.
Oh, okay.
Is there a phone you want me to?
I can take it back here. I don't know how to transfer it though. Or what this number is. Do you know, Lynn?
I might actually.
Okay.
116. It's okay. Okay, so alright, so that looks good, and you can tell it's good because it's pretty smooth. If there's too many points, we can right click and simplify, and that gets rid of some of them, and you can adjust it. Sometimes you go too far, it gets a little wonky and away from it. So usually what I do is like where it started, I usually just back it down a little bit,
Oh, okay.
just to make sure it's a little bit better. Okay, that looks good. So again, I turn on my bottom layer to do it,
Sure, okay.
then I toggle this on and off. Does that look good? Do we like that?
No, not yet. I had to order a few.
I actually don't like that. So what we're gonna do, because it's not even, is because I kind of want another one, but just this one. So the way that I would do that,
No, I don't. I don't have.
so copy, I'm gonna paste in the back,
They come with what they don't, so it's just kind of.
and then just, I'm gonna delete these two anchor points. Oh no, wait, I want to delete this one. And this one. What I'm going to try to accomplish is getting this to be a little bit thicker
Okay.
so that it pulls away from that blue a little bit because it looks kind of goofy over here. So then let's get that kind of close to where we want it. Let's outline that stroke and see if we like this spacing. It looks a little bit better because it's not totally uniform, and that's fine.
No, I haven't been given the tracking info yet.
So
Okay.
I would just take this piece and just kind of throw that up in there, because what we're going to do is we're going to merge all these. This probably doesn't make so much sense, but this is still a solid shape, right? So we're going to make this into a solid shape to merge into it. But I want to make sure that this line goes into it. Otherwise it'll be like this little pizza pie shape out of it. And then, so we're just angling that like that. So that's kind of what we have. And then I'm going to flip this one from stroke to fill.
Okay.
And then I'm also selecting the second one, and then I'm now Pathfinder, merge. Let's just make sure this one looks good. Okay, that looks so much better. All right, cool.
That's what I was asking.
So that's good. So let's go on to the more complex one.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
For simplicity, I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna rotate
You
it
can call my cell phone, I can use my cell phone.
back like that.
Sure.
I just copied it, and I'm gonna do the same thing where I paste on front. And then I drop the pink, which is just hitting I on the keyboard, and then just I dropping from the existing pink.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
And move it onto this layer, lock what's below it, and then we're going to merge all of this together to be one shape. Okay, so you see how all this has multiple lines and everything? We're just going to merge them all. I have a hotkey on my keyboard, but it's right here. You can press this, and that'll merge them all together. A lot of times I'll just look at, like, if there's something too thin and doesn't really look important, like, oops. Okay, so I think I might have accidentally deleted it. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it's still there at that point. Okay. So let's merge that again. And then we're gonna toggle that off. So that piece doesn't feel important to cut out and remove. So what we're gonna do is we're going to switch our arrows to the white arrow and then delete this piece. So that's it for making that a print cut. So now we're gonna lock that layer over here. So we'll lock I'll label them so it's easier to follow. This is our print cut layer, and this is our artwork, right? So I'm gonna unlock this one, turn off this eyeball so I can just work on making this stuff bleed out. Because right now it's usually pretty good, but I still try to give it a little bit of bleed. So the problem when stuff like this overlaps, it gets weird. And you always have to make copies of stuff and put it behind. So copy back. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make it all. Let's see. Honestly, this one I probably would just go ahead and run as is without any bleed, but for the little letters I definitely don't want to do that. So I'm just adding a little bit of a stroke on the back end, so that way if it cuts off, it so Control B is always to paste behind. So this is our front layer, and then the one behind it is our one with the stroke. So looking where the print cut lands, I can just grab this yellow and drag this out. And then that doesn't really matter, that's good. So this is probably the fastest way I could do this one, just. And then sometimes I switch to my pen tool and just do like this, just so I can add the same color. These are just some weird little things I do, but that should work.
When did Dino's want me to go out?
Oh, I'm trying to pause it. Okay, am I paused?
Oh, look,
Okay, so
Randy. Here's the dog.
I'm making a copy of this, and then I'm gonna paste behind. So I just hit Control C, Control B, and I'm just gonna increase the stroke of that same color. You know what, let's make that an action key. Let's see, because that would be pretty amazing. So let's try that. I'm copying it. And then I'm gonna paste it behind, but I bet you. Let's record this, and then let's swap them. Do Shift X, then increase the, because these are full size, so they should be probably. Let's just go ahead and do 5 point. So we don't need all these. Oh, not clear. Okay, so stop. Delete that, yes. Delete all these, yes. Oh, wait. I did that wrong. Disregard all of this. We need to make a new one. So, all right, let's just start over. This is a whole different thing. So basically you need to add bleed to everything. So I'm just gonna finish this up so that way we can move on. And I'll mess with the action thing later. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it just because I want to. Okay, back. And then plus, so we're going to say add bleed PC for print cuts. So let's record. Okay, so now we're recording. So because I just put that behind, I'm gonna swap it, tell it I want a 5 point, that same color, so then we'll get that. All right, so let's stop that. I'm switch this back to button mode. Right, okay, so let's see. We're gonna try it on these guys now. This and this. So I'm double clicking to get an isolated group so I don't have to keep ungrouping and regrouping. So I'm making a copy, deleting it, double clicking out of it, and then pasting right back where it was, which is Control F. So now I'm gonna hit Control B because I need another one behind. And then I'm gonna try our new PC. Ah, it worked, look at that. Amazing, all right. So now, in a way that I like to check it is to turn on my print cut, and everything should have bleed around it, or at least a little bit. So for this one, there's a lot of blues and gradients and stuff like that. So honestly, this one, I don't think I'm gonna put any bleed on. So I'm gonna leave that one as is. So that's our file. So now we're gonna just position everything, which makes sense on here. Oops, and make sure you unlock before you do things. And then right now I'm going to group Control G, Control G. So these are all, and then I like to double check and select all. So same, fill color. So that's what I'm doing when I'm hitting the key on my keyboard. Selecting them all, and then I delete them all to make sure that all the pieces are still here. Good, good. Okay, so then I put this here. Knowing the size of these things, I have an idea of what I want to do. A script that I've recently made, I'm going to do to both of these. So file script, weed box. Okay, so then I can delete one. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of stuff. This isn't stuff that you'll need to know right yet. So I'm deleting this one. Bless you. I'm just doing that so that way they can kind of get an idea of where they're going to need to cut to. That's for production. I just don't want them to get confused because I'm going to move this up in here. It's just a circle. Okay, so we're going to rotate. So my document box is 4 by 8 right now. Remember, we always need the 4 foot width on our document boxes in order to do all this. So I'm gonna grab everything, make a copy, which is holding Alt while I'm moving it. See how it's giving me a double. It gives me 2. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Usually, when I select everything, there we go. See how it's double arrows? That's when you know you got it. Drag it down while holding them, release the mouse first, and then the keys. I hit E, and then I rotate, move these up, just because it looks like a puzzle, so I feel like these will fit pretty well up in here. So, I'm gonna make this get closer to here, and then make these guys kind of fit around it. Actually, we're gonna pull it down. Sorry, I'm just talking as I'm doing it. But okay, cool. So that uses our space pretty well. Only thing I see now is that production is going to get confused as to which way is which when they go to do the print cut. So what we're going to do about that is let's just throw something to orient it. So we'll have, I'm just going to want to go to save it. I'm going to put a file name up here and then like a print cut box. So that way they can tell which way is which. So they don't get confused. So let's go ahead and save this. It says the word bay in it, so we're going to find that one. So steal this copy. New folder, production. Okay. Save it, file name, end it with whatever it is. So it'll be PRINTCUT, Apex, whatever it is, end it with that. This one has to be a PDF. So I have that name copied on my clipboard. So hit save. I'll just save back over that again. But for now, I'm going to paste it in here. I just hit the, to do that, I hit T on my keyboard, and that makes it so I can click into it, so I just double click, paste. I like it when it's our, oops. I like it when it is our font, so I do that. That's again a shortcut thing on mine. But yeah, so that'll be there. And I just like to pull everything in as close as I can. So boom, boom. There we go. All right. So this file's good to go. So save. And while we're here, I'll go ahead and do the rip again. Because you can't hear about it too many times, right? Manual update. Can't hurt. File open. I know that this one's going to be, it should save at the top. There it is. Go to production, open. We're going to keep this as PRINTCUT because that's what I did this morning as well. We don't need to rotate it at all because we designed it so that it's set like this. It's going to be 2 vehicles. That's why I did so many of them. 2 sides and 1 back for each vehicle. Okay, so that's good. So we should just be able to submit. And then make sure that we go back to Bay. Okay, didn't like that. That's okay. Now we'll do it. Bay Industries. Not sure if it doesn't. Bay Industries, here we go. Okay, so now we're going to switch this to in production. And I'm going to change the substatus to whatever it needs. So it's going to need laminate and Suma. But it looks like we only have Suma in here. So let's just set Suma. Let's do laminate actually. So that way that doesn't get skipped. There we go. And that's all we gotta do. We're done.